I had to do it. I had no choice. Now I'm all alone, no one to talk to. The whines of comfort when I need a shoulder to lean on. Nowhere to be found. Maybe it could have been avoided. Did it really have to end like that? Shut up. Shut up. You did what you had to do. It's okay, calm down, Daytovian. Take a deep breath. Before she could fill her lungs with the calming breath of air, her fingers pierced through her golden hair as she grabbed her head tightly, trying to shut the voice that violently roamed her noggin.
You're a waste of air. You're not human. Your father lied to you. You're no diamond in the rough. You're nothing but a speck of dust in a pile of trash. You're nothing, and after what you did, you'll forever be alone.
Shut up, Daytovian screamed with the hopes of regaining control, but to no avail, the voice now unruly.
You deserve to die. If I had control, I would strangle you myself with that leash.
Still in distress, Daytovian's eyes turned to the floor, and there it was. Her dog's leash soaked in blood. She eased the grip of her hands from her head and slowly brought them between her flooded eyes and the bloody leash. A cry crawled out of her as her bloody hands diluted her tear drips.
Neck, neck, neck.
The voice now determined to break her. Stop, Daytovian yelled in frustration. She tried everything she could to shut the voice, but wasn't successful.
All alone, unworthy, a waste of space. This blood should be yours, not hers. Poor little thing sent to ease the pain in your life but ended up losing hers. All because of you. Everybody leaves you. You force everybody away. Die, die, die.
Her old snub-nosed revolver laid next to the bloody leash. She reached for it. If only her father knew his precious gift to her daughter was going to be the end of her. He would have given her something else for her birthday. For protection, he thought. With all the strength that was left in her, she picked up the old piece, weakly spun the cylinder and clicked it in place, cocked the gun and took aim, placing the barrel in her mouth. She paused for a few seconds. A pin drop would give a church bell a run for its money. Saliva drooled all over the barrel, and without thinking twice, click, pure silence. The chamber wasn't loaded. She felt a cold breeze of relief run down her spine, and at the same time sadness reigned upon her. Out of strength, she dropped to the floor in exhaustion and her eyes shut.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Finish the job. You are a failure. What a waste. You finally tried something of worth. Couldn't even do that right.
A couple of minutes later, she was awakened by the voice. This time she didn't try to shut it down. She was quiet. She got up from the floor and opened a cabinet filled with pill bottles. She pulled out a temazepam pill bottle, opened it and chased down 2 pills with a glass of water. Earlier that day, Daytovian reached her phone to the sky, hopping to grab a signal bar. For Christ's sake, not now please. Tiga, where are you, girl? The German shepherd was nowhere to be found. She kept piercing through the thick bushes as the morning sun reflected its rays on the dew that rested upon the leaves. After a few minutes of searching, Tiga's whines filled her ears from the west. A sharp pang ran through her as she forced her way through the bushes and twigs, and in the process a dry twig brushed her left hand, leaving a bleeding mark. The determination of finding her poor Tiga induced an analgesia, and as her body led her towards the whines, blood kept oozing from her left hand, leaving a trail. There she was, poor Tiga, laying on the blades of grass, her stomach bouncing up and down, trying to catch all the oxygen she could. Around her, a pool of blood soaked her thick fur. Is it hers? Is she hurt? Without allowing another thought to add to her worries, Daytovian took off her sweater and fell to her knees next to Tiga. Her eyes roamed the poor thing's body, trying to pinpoint the source of the blood. Her breathing pace matched Tiga's when she found the source. Blood oozed from the shepherd's neck. Using all the strength she could, with her Christmas sweater, she pressed on the puncture that freed blood from the poor thing's flesh. Tears flooded her eyes as her breathing kept increasing in pace. Her tote laid next to her, which contained all the supplies she needed for the hike. Deep inside it laid her asthma inhaler. She scrambled her hand in it, then swiftly pulled out a pink inhaler. The force helped slide out a gun, which she didn't see as her eyes were still fixed on Tiga. She gave the inhaler a brief shake before cupping her lips on the mouthpiece. She took deep breaths through her mouth with both hands occupied, each hand trying to save a life. Her left hand hers and her right hand Tiga's. After her lungs found peace, she tossed her inhaler with no concern of where it landed. Her full attention turned back to Tiga as she reintroduced her left hand back to the matter at hand. Stay with me, girl. Stay with me. Don't you dare leave me. She finally had the strength and breath to blurt out something. It's a shame words couldn't save a life in such a situation, but they could be used to call for help. Words could save a life after all. Help, help, somebody help, she cried, but to no avail. Words couldn't save a life. Another bulb floated above her head now that the initial shock that clogged her judgment was close to non-existent. She could phone for help. Her eyes paced her surroundings, looking for her cellular device. When her head turned to her tote, there it was, Between her emerald iris and the bloody blades of nature laid his father's silver gift. A silver of protection. A gift for protection. Tears flooded her pearls as she whispered to herself, "Did I do this? How could I?" "Shut up, shut up. You didn't do this. You didn't do this." Only one way to find out. First, take a deep breath. She slowly eased the pressure on the shepherd's neck while lifting her sweater to examine the puncture. Lo and behold, she didn't let her suspicions down. The hole on Tiga's neck was undoubtedly from a bullet. A cry forcefully crawled out of her. "I'm sorry, baby. Please don't leave me. Somebody help."
No one's coming to help you. Look what you did. What a waste of a human you are. Put her out of her misery. What kind of person would let an innocent animal suffer? Pick up the silver and end it. You owe her that after what you've done.
"Shut up," Daytovian screamed. Tiga's panting was now more relaxed. Life was slowly leaving the poor thing. Her fading whines still suggesting she was in great pain. For once, the voice in her head had a point. She couldn't bear the sounds of pain from her baby. Daytovian was heartbroken. It had to stop. She owed her that. With everything Tiga did for her, and this is how it ends. What an ingrate she was. But it had to be done. She sat in silence for a few seconds, all defeated. Tears still filled her eyes. She put her hands under Tiga's head and leaned in for a hug. Her lips now next to Tiga's ears, she whispered, "I'm sorry, baby. I'll always love you." Still hugging Tiga, she slid her left hand through the wet, bloody grass and picked up the snub-nosed revolver. She gave Tiga a kiss. The last kiss. A lasting kiss, before she...
You'll forever be alone.